sports. I'm Harry Dynamite. We put the in sports. I'm coming to you from our Detroit, Michigan, home of StockX, Sneakerheads Stand Up, Dynamite Sports TV. Little Dynamite is coming from our Miami metro area podcast studio. And Chris CAULK is coming from.
Right now, I'm in Oregon with my girlfriend right now, but I usually am out of LA.
Okay, all right. That's the place to be. So I'm going to just put up who you are. And so our guest today on Dynamite Sports TV, Chris CAULK. I had that spelled correctly, don't I, Chris?
Oh, yeah, you got it right.
All right. Chris CAULK, University of Southern California Trojans wide receiver. And we're going to be talking about the top 10 college athletes already getting paid under the new NCAA rules. Number one being with a $2 million endorsement deal, incoming college freshman Hersey Miller, the son of Master P. So before we get into that, I want to swing it over to Little Dynamite just to kind of talk about our mission statement, Swagfamous Lifestyles. Little Dynamite, Swagfamous Lifestyles, Dynamite Sports, Sneakerheads. What do we represent?
We represent the combination between technology, fashion, sport, and everything that's related to art and also sneakers. Well, basically, it's a combination, a marriage between all of them.
Absolutely. Well said. So this year we've been doing a series. We're just starting it off small. We have some 1 minute clips, 2 minutes. Series on G code versus the cheat code, and we've been highlighting super agent Rich Paul and doing it in a sports journalism type way. We definitely respect Rich Paul. We respect all of his clients. We respect the entertainment sports industry as a whole. So, first of all, before we get into Chris's story about how he got to be a wide receiver for the USC Trojans, we're going to kind of highlight the topic. Right now, we're highlighting Hersey Miller, the son of rapper Master P, who signed an endorsement deal with Web Apps America. And that endorsement deal was worth a whopping $2 million. Now, Web Apps is an American tech company specializing in web, mobile, and software solutions. Web Apps America is committed to supporting HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities in the United States. Miller, an incoming freshman at Tennessee State, will join the company as a brand ambassador, which is just phenomenal for incoming freshmen to have an endorsement deal. Chris, first of all, what do you think about that? Give me your views on that.
I think that NIL is a kind of a multifaceted kind of approach. I think that it's one of those deals where it's about time that the NCAA does allow kids, like male and female college athletes, to make money off their name. And that doesn't necessarily mean getting this paid, but through the form of considerations, meaning products, clothing, experiences. And I think it's about time, but ever since July 1st, and this may not be super popular, but I've seen kind of a gold rush. A lot of people trying to get in on it, hitting people up that they've never even heard of, just so that way they could say they're getting in on it. And look, more power to you. Go after what it is. But I just don't know if it's sustainable in the sense of every single college athlete can be doing it. Like, I don't know, not sustainable in the sense of the college athlete side, but on the sustainable on the side of like the business who's inevitably going to be working with college athlete. You know, but I think that if you can leverage what you use as your, I guess, platform, it's silly not to make money off of it, or silly not to get free clothes or free experiences or supplements or whatever the case is. Like my girlfriend, she plays volleyball up here at University of Portland, and she's been working with some like supplement companies like Liquid IV and a couple other ones. And I mean, like if you can manage to get those kind of deals, I'd say you should do it. I think it's awesome that they're inevitably allowing kids to do it, though. I think it's about time, and I wish I had it when I was at USC, though. I'll tell you that for sure.
Say that again, Chris.
I wish I had it when I was playing. I'll tell you that for sure.
Now, was that on your radar?
You know, as you and I were talking about before the in our just little pre-show kind of deal, like people were selling my jerseys online, a couple different avenues, and you know, I would always say yeah, but like you couldn't do it when I was there. I would always be like wanting to say if Lululemon or like ASRV or Legends or whoever it was, I wouldn't have like sought out like brand ambassadorship, so to speak. I would have sought out these companies that I liked wearing or liked using and said, hey, I play at SC. You guys are going to get eyes on you. I'll wear them to class. I'll wear them after practice when I'm running routes. I'll wear them after games. I'll wear them before practice if you guys want. But if you guys do that once or twice a quarter, send me some free clothes or whatever the case may be, I'll definitely work with that. I wouldn't have necessarily sought out like, oh, let me post this for this person or let me post that for that person, because at that point it becomes like just kind of throwing your name out there. And I'm not super, super keen on that just for myself. Some people love it. I'm not just that kind of person, though. But yeah, I definitely would have had it. See, would love it.
I heard the word definitely. And this is a good time. I mean, you know, I can remember being from Detroit, rooting for the Fab Five. Like now, little DYNMYT and I have done stories on LaMelo Ball and the Ball brothers and LeVar Ball. We got more stories coming up on LiAngelo Ball, who's balling out of control in Vegas right now. His name is ringing bells up and down the strip. His name is ringing bells on every major platform. The Detroit Pistons, in my opinion, my humble opinion, kind of dropped the ball having LiAngelo Ball there and not giving him any playing time, but we did get the number one pick, so we're building. I saw your jersey online. One price I saw for $89, $89.99.
Yeah,
and that's been like that for like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What kind of prices did you see? And how did that make you feel to walk into a shopping mall or a USC store and see rows and rows of your jersey with these price tags? Give me numbers and give me feelings.
It was more I would see it online. I don't think they ever sold my jersey in the bookstore unless like they had it in there right when the season started, like with the other kid who was wearing number 41 too on the defense. But I don't know. Like it was cool. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I wasn't like as mad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't mad. But when I saw it, I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. I'm really playing at USC and they're selling my jersey. Some like whatever company, I don't know what it is or who it was, but someone's like, damn, let's make a Chris CAULK jersey. And I thought that was dope. I thought that was really cool. So I wasn't really mad. I really wasn't mad. I thought it was just one of the cooler things. And it was one of those deals where it was like a cherry on top after all the hard work that you take to get to USC. And well, I'll tell you a little bit about my story coming up, but like it was a lot of adversity like over the course of like 3 really hard years. And it was just consistently like roadblock after roadblock and all those things, and inevitably getting to that point when you make the roster. And then not too long after, you see your name on the website. And next thing you know, oh, people are selling your jerseys. And next thing you know, you've got a Google Knowledge panel. It's really cool. And it's really cool see how it grows. So I wouldn't say I was mad. I was like, damn, if they're selling my jersey, making money off my jersey, might as well I need to get verified at this point. but I haven't gotten there yet. But So it was cool.
So it's kind of like our series that Little Dynamite and I are doing, Dynamite Sports. We have a series, and we're going to be doing it all year long. And it's the G code versus the cheat code. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it, the NCAA and the industry had you, the sports entertainment industry, athletic industry, had you under the G code. And you were kind of under silent. It was like, don't ask, don't tell. Mm-hmm. So Little Dynamite, just kind of pitch out the definition of what the G code is.
Well, basically, G code is an unwritten rule of the street. Like, if you want to get respected, you have to respect, and then no snitching, no testifying, all kind of stuff. But it kind of sounds like you have to know the rules by itself, as so that you're not getting punked by others.
And that's the thing, because they weren't punking you, they were giving you an opportunity, but at the same time, it's like a stiff arm. You know what I mean? It's like a who has a good stiff arm? Seattle, Oakland. You know what I'm talking about? Marshawn Lynch. It's kind of like they coming through, even though they like run behind me, but they're like blocking people out of the way. They're beast moding the whole game, and now it's not like that. Now you can use the cheat code. NCAA players can use the cheat code to really come up. And Little Dynamite, kind of talk about what the cheat code is.
Well, basically, cheat code, even though it's the same, we're using the same term code, but this cheat code is basically, we took it from a video game. If you play games, you should know the Nintendo cheat code, up, up, down, down, A, B. Basically, you have to know the nook and crannies, or what to do
to get to the next level.
Yeah, to get to the next level, to get more points, to get more life, extra life, and, well, basically to get yourself ahead of the game.
Can I interject on one of the? Can I interject on that too?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
One thing that I think is imperative to this whole NIL situation is financial literacy courses. Within the program, within this more than likely within this program, like within football. My girlfriend plays volleyball, like basketball, baseball, whatever the case is. I've started reading like a lot of books over the past year and a half, and I've gotten fairly dare I say literate, just because I said literate.
What kind of books? What kind of books? Like how to negotiate like a pro, or economic books, marketing? Yeah. Talk to me.
So a lot of books, I'm reading right now, for instance, I'm reading a book called Tax-Free Wealth. It's by one of the guys who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And Rich Dad, Poor Dad is one of my favorite books of all time.
I love that guy.
You got to watch Rich Dad channel on YouTube too.
That's why Trump doesn't pay any taxes. Keep going.
Doesn't, no. So yeah, and a lot of these books I read were they're very much like development. So it's more. I've looked at like financial development for sure. Like you got to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, Tax-Free Wealth. I've got right here. Mm-hmm. You've got like mindset books. Like I loved Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. 48 Laws of Power. Absolutely
David
fantastic.
Goggins is my main man.
Love David Goggins.
Yeah. Oh, I love David Goggins.
And then then you read about books like venture capital books like 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. Absolutely love that book. But like the ones that I think are super impactful for kids, or at least college age individuals, are going to be the ones that teach you how to save, and not just as soon as you get a check, it goes out the window. Right. You're not throwing money out of a helicopter. What you got to do is you got to set it up, like in a sense, because you can hear varying takes on this, because books like The Richest Man in Babylon say you need to put away 10% of your money. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I think, is a third. 10X rule by Grant Cardone says to 40, and if you can justify more, you can. But if you can put away a certain amount that you just don't touch, and it goes into an investment account, that's more financially literate than anything you could be doing in the interim, because you're basically using your wealth as an asset. You're creating wealth through more like and spending it on wealth and creating wealth and buying assets and buying things and making money, as opposed to taking it and spending it on whatever you may or may not be spending it, or just keeping it in a savings account. Because I think the last I checked, it was that in order for your money to double in a savings account, I think it would be 849 years before it did that.
Oof.
So
Whoa.
yeah.
So it's a cheat code in effect.
Basically, yeah.
Keep going.
So I think when I was going into my last year at SC, there's this one coach who was a special teams coach there. He had this thing called academic game plan, and he kind of talked about it a little bit, but I would imagine that USC was in the very, very slim minority that talked about that. But what needs to happen, at least as far as I'm concerned, is they need to teach kids like what makes money, what doesn't, how to spend, and how not to spend. Because just whether you like it or not, like 2/3 of the NBA will go broke within 5 years after they're done. Like there's a document.
Say that one more time. Could you say that one more time?
Yeah, 2/3 of the NBA will go broke 5 years after they're done. And the reason why, there's this one documentary that ESPN did about 7 or 8 years ago called Broke, and it talks about that. And if you're not financially wise with your money, it's not gonna stick around. Like it's just not. And that's one of the things that a lot of kids, especially who are younger, need. Like that's why these institutions need to put it in place. Like that's just my take on it. It needs to happen, and they need to do it pretty damn quickly because kids are starting to make money.